Right, so the league table, MVG top with 21 points. Smith and Cross second and third, both on 18, separated by leg difference. Ando on 17 points in fourth. Is that the top four, or is there a surprise?
There's no surprise for me. That's your top four. I think I might have said that was going to be the top four quite a few weeks ago, and they've proved me right, thank God. I think it's a delightful top four. I think there's so many different games that we can look forward to. Potentially Gary versus Michael, Michael versus Rob Cross, a repeat of the greatest game I've ever seen at Ali Pali. Whatever it is, it's going to be great, and I can't wait to be at the O2 for it.
Well, I remember when Gary won his second Premier League title, he actually said, I want Van Gerwen in the semi-final, not the final, I want him. And the way it's going to be that way again.
You know what it is? Players tend to look at things and say, I need this to legitimise myself or this title. I think Rob Cross already covets a second world title to legitimise the fact that it wouldn't be Phil's last world title. You know how it was almost Phil's night, it wasn't Rob's.
Yeah.
And sometimes winning a second world title, or Premier League title in this case, it almost legitimises the first, to say it wasn't a surprise or a fluke. When you beat someone on the way, like Gary said with Michael, it's just a little bit sweeter. It's like there are two cherries on top. So maybe Gary will get a third, and it'll be like a Knickerbocker glory.
Moving forward, we head to Birmingham this week. Again, like we say, we think it's going to be cut and dried, but players still have to produce. First up, Peter Wright against Simon Whitlock. I think Peter Wright does a number on Simon.
Possible. Simon had a European tour off because he wasn't feeling great at all. So maybe it was just, when you're really tired from travelling, things, like colds and flu tend to get in the way. Simon, at the weekend in the Pro Tour, he looked a little bit up and down. Peter, basically again in the Pro Tour, looked a bit up and down, but they seem to be saving some of their best stuff for the Premier League. I think you're right. I think Peter wins this match if he has half the performance he had against Van Gerwen in Rotterdam. Then he will have enough. But we can never bat against Simon. He got Anderson last week. He managed to find enough in the tank. It's hard to predict, isn't it?
Definitely. Next game, I think it'll be an absolute 180 fest. We've got Gerwen against Michael Smith. Battle of the first start. If they both hit the top of that treble 20 bed, then it could be a quick night.
Once or twice this season, we've already seen the one-game record broken for total 180s. Yep. There's no reason why this won't go further. If they find that first dart, then watch out. I'm a big fan of Peter Wright and his atmospherics thing. Birmingham, has it produced amazing Premier League darts in the past? It's produced good darts. Maybe Aberdeen will produce something the week after, because I've got a thing about that. But this could be the greatest 180 game ever if they turn up. But on the other side of it, the flip side, if they don't, it could be quite ordinary.
Agreed. From there, we've got a repeat of the World semi-final, Rob Cross against MVG. I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah,
me too. I'm definitely going to petition to commentate on this match because I've said it many times. I've seen some great games live. I remember seeing the Barney 9-darter in Ali Pali in 2009 when he was playing Klassen. That was an amazing thing to watch, but if you times that by 50, that's what Van Gerwen and Cross was. And if they bring 10% of that semi-final to this Premier League game, it'll be something we'll watch forever. Michael wants revenge. He really does. And he's going to want revenge 10 times over because that hurt Van Gerwen. And Cross knows how to play him, knows how to beat him. Ultimately, this time, I think Michael just might want it a little bit more.
I agree. Last game on in Birmingham. I like this one as well. Ando against RVB. Again, I think Anderson does enough to beat Barney and then absolutely 100% cement his place in the top four for me.
Yeah, there's a clear agenda here for Ando because he knows that Barneveld is not going to make the top four. He almost feels like he wants to go to Aberdeen the following week without the stress of knowing that someone's right on his tail. If he gets 2 points, he keeps them at bay. He could even stretch his lead in that top four race. And he doesn't want to be fourth, does he? He wants to be second. He wants to try and nick the first place. I don't think he's going to do that, but he wants to get in either 2 or 3 and potentially have a Van Gerwen final. It's not as simple as that, But for Anderson, it's all about 2 points, and when he switches on properly, which he will be in Birmingham, I fear for Barney.
You touch it there. From Birmingham, we go to Aberdeen. Now, something always special happens in Aberdeen.
World record averages, 9 darters, you name it. Something about Aberdeen is conducive for life-altering darts, and I think it'll be a 9 darter.
I have to say, I can't disagree with the history that we have at Aberdeen. I can see anything happening.
We're due a 9 darter. We haven't had one on the European Tour forever. We've had a few on the not the European Tour, sorry. We never get one there. We have had a lot on the Pro Tour, but I just get the feeling that Aberdeen will deliver something again. I'm not sure we'll break the world record average this time. I think if it had been a little bit earlier in the season, that could have been a possibility. But a 9 darter might come from left field. I think we might see it from either Barney, or maybe even Daryl Gurney. I really do think it's possible. No,
definitely. Well, Paul, thanks for joining us for the Premier League review and preview. As always, pleasure. Thanks very much.
Cheers.